Daaji, thank you very much again for accepting our invitation to join us for our first CEOs Club annual national retreat that we have assembled here. The concept is Go Beyond, Aspire to Inspire. So when I heard about you, when I Googled on you, I was so amazed to see the things that you've done. But also, what impressed me more was we felt like you are like one of us.
Thank you.
In the sense, you are a grihastha, your kids, your grandkids, you are a CEO. So what is more impressive for us as CEOs to listen to your story in terms of what has attracted you first, how long have you been associated with this, and how it helped you as a CEO running successful business in New York. We would like to hear from you on that. And also, I know you have written a book on Heartfulness Way, and the latest book is Designing Destiny, which will be distributed to all of you. So I would like to talk specifically on designing our own destiny, Daaji.
That means we have to be here for at least a week. Thank you for inviting me, dear CEO members, CEO club members. And my special thanks to Hari Kiran for inviting me and actually doing the research on me. Like many of us, I think we stumble upon few things in life sheerly or merely through accident. From early childhood, I had this fascination looking for some answers. What are we doing here? Who created us? What is the next step after we breathe our last? Where shall we be? Many such questions kept bothering me very early age. I was mesmerized by Ramakrishna Paramhamsa's gospel. Each page you could see, while I read, I used to cry like him. He was crying for his goddess. He was crying for his mother. Mother, where are you? He was so passionate about that, It's actually not even a child would cry for his mother. So much cry he used to have, when he was calling for Kali. Or where is our Kali here? Okay. Okay. And later on, my reverence, appreciation went, many inches higher, miles higher, when I read about Swami Vivekananda. So I kept on, as a child, praying, I wish I had a guru like Swami Vivekananda or Ramakrishna Paramhamsa, who could guide me, who could actually make you experience the divinity without many steps. Modern day gurus, they say you breathe like this and you tilt your head like that and you'll realize God. No, God is not so simple. Yet the pathway must be very simple to achieve that highest consciousness. Anyway, I used to meditate with my closed eyes, not knowing what was going on inside. One of my friends in my college days used to witness, Kamlesh is meditating, he's wasting his time away. He was himself a meditator under heartfulness. So one day he came and told me, have you experienced anything at all? I see you meditate every single morning. I said, I'm yet waiting for experience. So he asked me, would you like to experience something? I said, how long will it take me to experience? He said, instantly. The very first sessions will be able to tell you in which direction you are heading now. I said, why not? There is nothing to lose. That was the year 1976, month of August. Date was 12th August. So we went to one lady, very pious, very simple lady from Agarwal family, Marwadi family. She first of all could not believe that such young boys would come and ask for meditation. those days in 76. And she told me, this is how we meditate. Just close your eyes and think that divine presence is already there in my heart, which is pulling or attracting me inward. I said, it's very simple, I can do it. The specialty of this meditation was not the process, but what she did in the process. She transmitted to me her own state into me. And she was a trainer, she was not a guru. Guru was somebody else who trained her to do all this. And likewise, he had then trained thousands of trainers worldwide who could equally initiate new seekers to the heartfulness way. Guru was of a belief, she told me, that why should I keep this knowledge with me? I should distribute this knowledge. Not just the knowledge, the ability to transmit your own inner state to somebody else. And the chain continues. So with that, I began my spiritual journey. We used to meditate, then we were 2, which became more than 30 in my class. And the vibrations or the atmosphere in the class suddenly changed, and our professors were impressed, our deans and principals were so impressed with this batch of students. They called us, what are you guys doing? I said, we meditate. So they also started meditation. So that was quite inspiring to us that now our professors have started. So we became even more regular, say. Morning meditation, and there is evening meditation also, which is not like the morning one, it's a slightly different process. We used to do very, very well academically, and all of them are, I would say, all business people worldwide in many countries. In business world also, before you make many mistakes, you walk through this process. When you have 10 different choices, you don't try 10 different things. You filter out so many things and you come to one. So the time in experimenting is saved. We don't waste so much of time. We don't waste so much of energy. You know the outcome already ahead of you. You know everything well placed in front of your eyes. These children, when they were doing something, we would say it's magical, but it's not so magical. They're able to do it, this right brain, left brain switch so easily. Today the science says after 15 or 16, we become so hardened. We lose the neuroplasticity of our brain. The nerves have already created a certain pattern. They're hardwired. They're difficult to change. In children, they are not so hardwired. But if this habit that they have cultivated in balancing both parts of the brain, if it continues, it will be wonderful. If they discontinue this practice, exercise, brain gym, then they tend to lose the ability they have acquired over 8 weeks. Something that we use, as they say in science, nerves, when they fire together, they remain wired together. If you don't use them, you lose them. Very simple. What happens to us as adults? We also have certain abilities where we are going inward. Whenever we try to go inward, somehow some magical help comes from above. They have a limit up to 15 years. Between 5 and 15, you can master this brighter mind. After 15, it's an uphill battle. Try to meditate after you're 70 or 80. You can't, first of all, you'll find so much of difficulty in sitting properly, let alone having a focused attention inward. See? So while we are younger, master this art of going so deep within. And I like this idea of going deep within and capturing those resources which are so plenty of. People have not tried. We often say, go beyond. I mean, I love this. But what do we understand by going beyond? What is this beyond you are talking about? Do you know where you are, first of all? At consciousness level, that makes it difficult. At the material level, you can say, oh, I have so many industries. My net balance is so and so. My net worth is so and so. I am such a rank in such and such industry. But when we talk of inner world, what do we mean by going beyond? In materialistic world also, when we set a goal going beyond, what is beyond to us? Next one is aspire to inspire. Inspiring whom? The others? When my spouses and my children are not ready to be inspired by myself, how are we going to inspire others in the business world? Because everybody has their own horses to ride. This inspiration can only inspire ourselves, no one else. This inner journey that we talk about is a personal journey. I cannot make it travel on someone's behalf in my inside world. But everything that happens in religion is topsy-turvy. I have seen my father hiring a pandit to do some homam. He will do it on his behalf in a temple. Then I used to ask my father, what are you doing? You're hiring someone to do something on your behalf. How will you benefit? He said, that will increase my lifespan. Some homam is there to increase your lifespan, etc. Then there is another homam for moksha. All kinds of things. You see, we get things done in a surrogated way. That doesn't work in spirituality. Spirituality is all about experiencing something. That profound experience should be of such an order that experiences after experiences should motivate to make me become something. In this heartfulness way, meditation will begin with a simple thought that there is divine presence in my heart. It's a thought. Transmission or pranahuti is received from the Guru. This pranahuti will help us dive deeper. It becomes an experience. So we have moved from thinking to feeling. Now, should we be happy with one-time experience that I felt samadhi-like state when I visited Himalayan ashram? No. Would you be happy remaining a multi-millionaire for one day? No. You would wish this millionaireship continues down through my 10th generation or 100th generation. Never ending. Which is good. We are not against material proliferations. I would wish that there were many saints like Vivekananda, not abandoning families, but soaring higher and higher, even in the material world. Later on, he realized himself that India does not need spirituality. India needed then bread butter. He went to the United States not to give the worldly message of Hinduism. No, his main purpose was, there were two. Main being, bring money from United States as investment. If you see some of his letters, it will be thought-provoking letters he had written to our people when he described the United States of then, 1893. My countrymen, we don't need spirituality. We need solid materialism. And achieved success in material proliferation, now you can think of spirituality. How can a hungry man meditate when you have so much of worries For simple things, how to clothe your children, how to get medicine, how to have a shelter above your head, we don't have that problem. So he changed his approach later. And he did write a letter to Mrs. Bull. Mrs. Bull, I wish I was younger. I would have married, I would have had children, and I would have served my mother country, my nation, with more prolific, adventurous approaches. I could have walked all throughout the country. My mother would have been well looked after by my spouse. I would have had children with whom I would have shared my ideas. That was his regret. I shared this with one of these Mathadikaris, but he did not agree with me. See? Anyway, that's a different story. That's a deviation from my talk here. From experience, when we are inspired to become, let us say, instead of experiencing richness of a friend, you go visit a rich friend and you are enjoying the hospitality of a rich friend. But it would be better to become rich yourself. It's a simple thing to understand. Instead of loving, let love become my second nature. I become that instead of it remaining a verb, I become that subject. Then the stage comes on our journey. My attitude when I meditate, for example, when I'm worried about something, which is going to happen anyway, we are all grahasthis, business people, something or the other will trouble us. But when I close my eyes and I go deep within, those wrinkles or problems remain outside. They are there. It's not that they will disappear on their own, but at least my mind is not affected by it. See? I'm able to handle those things better afterwards. See? But when I become more and more humble within myself, when I submit myself for more and more experiencing, means I have to make a vacuum within myself. I become less and less of myself. I become almost insignificant to myself. And in this process, what happens is the higher forces, they take over. And that's a matter of experience. When we replace ourselves and let higher things descend into us and take over, that experience also is of a different nature. And that experience will become the most profound when I, as an individual, develop zero state within me. My-ness or my I-ness or my ego is somehow subdued to its maximum level. And that's when the profound experiences arise in our heart. So we have learned, or we would learn in the process, that thinking will lead me to feeling, will lead me to this inspiration to become something. Now, within this becoming, how I become non-entity, almost coming to a zero state. It's not that you're no longer aspiring for anything. It will continue in some dimension, but at a spiritual dimension, you are tending towards zero state. And this zero state invokes the higher presence. And this remains continuous with us, even in the business world. You may be in the office, you may have been conferences, yet this inner state will percolate in day-to-day interactions. This is my personal experience and this continues to guide us. 5 minutes of meditation in the morning, it's good. Half hour will be better. 24 hours will be even greater. How to make it? It's not that we close our eyes 24 hours, 7 days a week, no. But few minutes of morning meditation should trigger a meditative state in me. Though I may meditate actively, I remain actively meditative. There's a big difference to this, you see. Half hour, my master used to meditate hardly for 2 minutes. Sometimes he would skip meditations. Then I realized that if your consciousness is already so uplifted, where is the need to meditate? Meditation is a kind of a fine-tuning your consciousness. Again, bringing back Swami Vivekananda, he used to say, be it any practice, be any spiritual practice, there is only one simple goal. And that goal is, allow the available consciousness that we have to rise in the sky of superconsciousness and allow it to plunge into deepest oceans of your subconscious. And what happens here? He said this available consciousness, it's like a thin film of water sandwiched between two giant oceans, one of super and one of subconsciousness. When we meditate, my consciousness will rise higher. I enter into superconscious state. Similarly, when I perform my evening cleaning process, it again widens in my subconscious. So this thin film of consciousness now is able to soar higher in this direction, and it's going in subconscious. So this bandwidth of my consciousness is expanding. And that is the purpose of actual spirituality. No God is going to come in front of you and show the darshana. No. Only thing that will happen, my consciousness will become akin to his consciousness. Then I'll resonate with him better. In scientific experimental world, we have done so much research on this now. You must have heard about mindfulness, vipassana meditation, etc. There, a lot of research had also gone in. They measured these monks, Buddhist monks, their meditation, those who have accumulated on an aggregate about 15,000, 20,000 hours of meditation in their lifetime. So they hook them up with those probes and measure EEG waves. They noticed the specific waves coming up, gamma and delta. It will take a long time to explain this, but assume that you know gamma and delta. Delta wave appears very fast among these monks. Delta waves, in our sleep studies, they appear on EEG graph when you're in deep sleep state. When we are so busy like children, our brain waves are very fast, tremendously fast, like 30, 40 per second. While these waves, delta waves, will be maybe 3 to 4 hertz per second. So it slows down tremendously in deep sleep. So these monks were able to recreate that thing within few minutes of their closing their eyes. After maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, this delta wave will appear. With Heartfulness Meditation, we did research also in Dayton. Even of our cardiologist doctor, he had a lab available to him. So that was our first experiment. He invited half a dozen people who were already meditating. And also invited half a dozen people who were not meditating. But with this first transmission, what happens to an individual? So he was able to see the delta wave in all cases, whether you have been meditating for donkey's years or you are a novice, first-time meditator. This delta wave will appear within 3 to 4 minutes. That's heartfulness because of pranahuti. Now I'll have to explain to you what this pranahuti is all about. It is the power that descends from Guru. You don't have to believe me in this. You have to experiment and then say yes. Now it is believable. Like in science, in pharma industry especially, when they find a new molecule, they compare it with placebo. Or let's say they found a painkiller, a very nice painkiller without side effects. They'll still compare its effectiveness with paracetamol or with acetaminophen, with ibuprofen. And if it is excelling with few milligrams, with no side effects like ibuprofen, no liver toxicity like paracetamol, won't you be happy? And 100% more effectiveness in shortest possible time. But this needs comparative studies. Placebo versus the new molecule or existing molecule with the new found molecule. Then you say, oh wow, this new molecule is good, but if it is as good as the placebo, we discard it. It's not worth investing money. Why should I invest my energy into a thing that doesn't work? So, I would like to conduct an experiment here. I would like you to meditate on your own without this pranahuti for 10 minutes or maybe 5 minutes and see where you go. Write your own experience. And some of you must have meditated on your own many a times, perhaps. So you revisit that meditation, close your eyes and see what happens. After 5 minutes, I'll walk you through this relaxation which one of the children was describing how effective it is. And then after going through this relaxation, we'll meditate with the help of pranahuti or transmission. Then you compare placebo versus pranahuti. Agreed? Okay. So what do we do now? The experiment or something else?
We can do the experiment or we can ask questions at the end, we can experiment.
Okay, as you like.
Would you like to have a Q&A now or you want to experiment? Experiment first. Okay. Daaji, it's yours.
Okay, Hari. So you guys have to meditate on your own. So just close your eyes and meditate the way you like. That's all. Please make a mental note of your feelings or any experience that you may have had. Now I'll walk you through this process of relaxation. And then enter into meditation. Again, please gently close your eyes. Pay attention to your feet. Wiggle your toes if you need to. Imagine energy is coming from Mother Earth and is entering through our feet. This energy is helping me relax. Allow this energy to move upward, ankles and your lower legs. Feel the relaxation as it moves upward. Now your calf muscles. Feel the relaxation there. In your knees and thighs. Your hip area is also getting relaxed. The entire back. Feel the energy going up through your back and helping you relax. Let this energy move in front, the abdominal area and chest. Feel the relaxation now in your shoulders. Feel the weight almost leaving you. Feel the shoulders melting away, becoming lighter. Allow this energy to descend into your upper arms, your elbow and lower arms, your fingers. Now your neck muscles. Feel the lightness in your neck. Now let this energy move in your jaws, which are becoming tense and free. Drop your jaws if you have to. The entire facial muscles, including eyebrows, eyelids, your forehead, your nose, your lips. Feel the relaxation there. Your earlobes. And top of your head. Now scan the whole system, top to toe. Now we are ready for meditation. Please pay attention to your heart. Suppose that there is divine presence in your heart. It's attracting your attention inward. Let's remain with this idea. If other thoughts arise in mind, please do not fight with them. Just remind yourself that you're meditating on divine presence. That's all. I didn't want to stop this, but we have time constraints, so I had to. And we can revisit this whenever you like. We have thousands and thousands of trainers everywhere. If you cannot go to their place, or if you don't have time to invite them to your place, we're making use of technology now. We have apps called Hearts app. It's both downloadable on Android as well as iOS platform. Hearts app. And with this app, let's say you woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning and you felt like meditating. Activate that app. Some trainer who is awake at that time in some country will connect with you. Somebody in Japan, maybe, or in South America, or in US. It's daytime or evening time, and you are early in the morning here. So that person will connect with you. He or she will sit wherever they are, and you will sit wherever you are. And you feel this pranavati or transmission taking you in deeper and deeper. And you'll feel peaceful and very joyful inside after that. See? Key is to hold on to this state as much as you can. That's all, and move on. See? The book you mentioned to me about how did it come about and what it is all about, designing destiny. It's a synopsis of youth seminar we had for 1 week long program, during which a lot of youth had asked questions like, what is destiny? Is my destiny fixed? If my destiny is fixed, then what am I doing here? If I'm going to be a millionaire, why should I do anything? It will happen, no? It should happen. Yet we struggle, we strive, we work hard. So all these life-relevant questions are answered there. What is happiness? Why is there so much of enmity between desires and happiness? What is contentment after all? Issues related to relationships. how to balance both the worlds, my material ambitions and my spiritual aspirations. How to fly like a bird with both faculties intact. And so all these things are described, and my main fascination is don't become so obsessive in spiritual world that material needs of the family and the nation suffers. And also don't become so obsessive with material world that individual spiritual growth is shut down. See. At the last breath, I should be able to say, yes, I led my life properly. I go back to my Maker with pride. That's all. In fact, people, some youth had also asked me questions which are mentioned in one of these books. I don't know which one though. Where is heaven? Does God will come down to take us up? I say, God has many things to do. He's not so... He doesn't have this portfolio of calling us to His realm. But when our heart becomes purer and more loving, the heavens will automatically descend in our heart. We don't go to heavens. Heavens will descend. Gods will descend. See? That's more or less such gossips are going on in these books, and I'm sure you'll enjoy these sort of conversations there. Both books are mainly conversations. Sir.
The time is up, Daaji, but I just don't want to leave it without having at least few questions from the audience. Any questions?
Our profound greetings to you. Daaji, what is the role of rituals in the journey of spirituality? And do you practice rituals?
What sort of rituals?
Taking bath in the Ganges, breaking coconuts, doing arati.
Rituals have purpose. It creates environment. It's like stencils. When a child doesn't know how to write ABCD, we give them stencils. All these rituals inculcate something definitive. It shapes us, the forms that we worship. Akar. Final purpose is to move away from akar to nirakar, from form to formlessness, from finite thing into infinite thing. But if we remain glued to stencils, even in college, you'll become a laughing stock. In spirituality, we move away from beliefs. It's not that we don't believe, but we make beliefs experienceable. When they say in religion, God is omnipresent, God is omniscient. We actualize this knowledge in spirituality through experience, day after day. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Please introduce yourself.
Namaste, Daaji. That was a lovely talk. My name is Dr. Renuka. I have a question. What is zero state? And whenever I try to meditate, I fall asleep in 5 minutes. So why does that happen?
Zero state, I call it when your egolessness is totally sublimated to its highest. There is no limit to its thinning down, see. And whenever you fall asleep in meditation, I don't say that it is asleep. They have invented a new term. Our yogis, they were very bright in inventing new terms. They call it Yoga Nindra, just to differentiate from horizontal sleep versus vertical sleep. See, many a times when you conduct programs in colleges, students have this issue. Within 2 minutes, you'll start hearing snores coming from many corners, And they say, oh, sir, sorry, I fell asleep. I say, let's sleep again. Show me, sit down in this chair, or even in the bed, see if you can sleep within 5 minutes. You can't. So sometimes we have to give credit to Yoganindra. It's not sleep, it's different state. So,
anyone else?
I'm Saraswati. My question is, I feel there is the material manifestation when we are aspiring for that and the individual spirituality, they're two extremes. And in all of this, one or the other area is getting compromised, whether it's the children or the work. We can't do justice to both equally. How do we balance this?
what are you trying to balance? Material? Oh, they are not two extremes actually. In my worldly life, I have seen that being a pharmacist, being father to someone, children to someone, son of someone, friends of so many, it has not robbed me from spiritual endeavor. When I go to sleep, I have a simple process, how to make even this sleep productive. I close my eyes, offer my prayer as best as I can. Not like a mantra, but actually trying to connect with my Maker and start remaining in osmosis, kind of, with His consciousness and go to sleep. Sleep will change and it will become spiritual in nature. When you wake up in the morning, again have a positive suggestion that may my day proceed in divine consciousness, and you begin your meditation. When you meditate, and you have seen the effect of meditation, identify what that effect is all about. Hold on to that state as much as you can. When you're in the kitchen trying to make breakfast, hold on to that state. When you partake breakfast, hold on to that state. Taking a shower, hold on to that. You're driving, hold on to that state as much as you can. You don't have to try hard. It becomes our second nature in holding that inner state. So meditation was done, but you became meditative during the daytime. So even our material work, bhautik work, things that we do in day-to-day life, will have the flavor of your meditative state. So there is no point differentiating, but bring in spirituality into material life, in your business world. It will have a different flavor. Imagine, worst example I can give, that you're cooking with anger and cooking with love. Big difference, no? Now, how do you switch from one mood to another mood? So likewise, we can have this permanent backdrop of spiritual state within us and go out into the world. Thank you.
Thank you for giving us that experience. With that, I think we will conclude the session.